Hi YouTube, it's me again, Stephanie, and I'm sitting here today 1 month after having my revision of my gastric bypass surgery. And for those of you who haven't been watching, I just had a revision of the same surgery done, making the pouch and the opening smaller. And then I also had some other surgeries to correct some other things that were going on wrong with me. I had my gallbladder removed, and I also had about 75 to 85% of my stomach removed. Don't ask why. This last month has been a lot of just resting and recuperating and healing from such a big surgery. I have had many bouts of head hunger. I get it mostly on the weekends because that's normally when I used to kind of relax and you know, kick my heels back and enjoy myself, you know, going out to dinner with friends, or, you know, going out to happy hour, drinks, whatever, with my friends and coworkers, colleagues, whatever. So the first 2 weekends were extremely hard because I was on clear liquid, so I was just doing water, Crystal Light, and my protein drinks. The third week I was able to do some soups, and I'm not a big fan of clear broth, so I have to admit that I didn't do a whole lot of that clear broth stuff. I may have had clear broth like once or twice, maybe 3 times during weeks 1 and 2, just to try and get it going. But once I was able to move to the soups, then that was a little bit easier, just diluting them a little bit with more with water and having it like that. And then I also had a great treat. I'm from New Orleans, so I love gumbo, and I got to get the flavor of it all without eating the meat and everything. But the juice, it was amazing. It was like having the best meal ever, even though I was just having the liquid. It was great. And I had it first at Jason's Deli, which that was very hard to do because it's so much stuff in there, so I had to really try and strain it. So then I decided to just make it for myself. So I made it for myself and for my son, and I just took the juice out of it and had it that way, and put a little bit more water in it for myself. But it was great. I think I ate that for like 3 days straight. As far as weight loss, it's been slow. At first, the first week and a half, it was, you know, about a pound a day, you know, and I was happy with that. But then it just stopped. It stopped right there. And then I assumed that it was because I wasn't doing enough calories, meaning that I wasn't having the chicken broth. So once I started doing the soups and I started using MyFitnessPal or MyFitnessTracker, one of the two, on my iPhone, I was able to track my calories, and it kept saying you're not taking in enough calories. And so I upped my calories, and although for like 7 days or so straight I hadn't lost anything, and I had actually went up after I had the gumbo, probably the sodium in it. This last 3 to 4 days, I'm not sure what it is, 3 or 4 days, I finally started going down a little bit, a couple of ounces here and a couple of ounces there. So as of 1 month out today, I've lost 21 pounds. I wasn't happy with that at first. Still not happy with it, because the same thing happened to me the first time around, where I had only lost like 18 pounds in the first month, although I was following everything to a T. This time I didn't quite, because I couldn't get with the protein, and with the broth, it wasn't working for me. But the first time around I did what I was supposed to do, but I was a slow loser. And so when the doctor's telling me, you know, the nurses, they're like, you know, with the revision you lose much slower than the first time. So I just hope that that's not entirely true, because if I lost that slow the first time, then this time it's just going to kill me. But 21 pounds is 21 pounds. A friend of mine reminded me, you know, she texted me the other day, and she wanted to see a picture, and I'm like, I don't really look that different. And I did it side by side, which I'll show you. and I mean, my stomach is still huge. You can't really see a big difference. I think the only difference that you can see is the top part, where you can see like my side boobs have shrunken, and if you were to look at the back, it looks a little bit smaller, but just like right up here, it's weird. I don't know what that is, but I'll put some pictures in there so you can see. So it's a 21-pound loss. I'm still over 200 pounds. Not happy with that, but I think this time around, even though I say I don't want to focus on the pounds and all that, I know in the back of my mind it's still going to be there, because I don't want to be obese and I don't want to be overweight, you know. So I want to be healthy, and I liked when I was a good, decent size. I was able to do more and just have a better quality of life, doing the type of things that I like to do, or that I found that I like to do after I lost the weight. The first thing I didn't do, I didn't address why I was eating. I did get a therapist, and I worked through some things, but I don't think I worked through it all. This time around, I'm going to do some self-help things. I ordered a workbook. No, I have 2 workbooks that are coming in on Amazon. And then I was going to order some books from Amazon, but I decided to check my library first. And I found some books. One of them, actually the only one I was looking for, because this is the one that I wanted to work with, it's called Shrink Yourself, Break Free from Emotional Eating Forever. And it's by Roger Gould. He's a medical doctor, and this is the book. I saw this on Amazon, and there's a workbook also. And I have on my PC, on my laptop, there's a emotion manager that takes you through the emotions, so you stop and you actually think of why you're overeating or why you're wanting to overeat, and it takes you, you know, to ask you questions, and it takes you through everything. I think it's great. The first time it didn't work. I just had to have the popsicle, so I went ahead and had it, but I found as I'm doing it and I'm thinking through things, that's actually helping me, so I hope this book is going to help. And then there's another book that I saw while I was at the library. It says The Craving Cure, Break the Holds Carbs and Sweets Have on Your Life. And this one's by Rena Greenberg, sorry. So that's that one. And then I also picked up some things for a little bit further down the line. If this turns out, this is Dr. Shapiro's Perfect Weight Loss Cookbook. I haven't even opened this one yet. If it has some great stuff in there and I see it, I might actually buy this one for my kitchen. And then there's another one called Eating Well After Weight Loss Surgery, and it has recipes to enjoy in the months and years after surgery. So those are the books that I'm going to be reading over the next month. And also I got these 2 that just kind of looked interesting. I don't know. I mean, it's a library, so I picked it up. I may or may not read it. Ain't over to the Thin Lady Sings and Cook This, not that. So those are just some of the things I'll be reading to try and help me to figure out some of these emotions before I decide to go back into therapy. Eventually I will go back into therapy. Just right now I want to try and deal with and process and do as much work myself as I can before I take it to a professional where we can do it one-on-one, psychoanalysis or whatever it is that that person will decide to do. And I think I'll go to a different therapist, one that, you know, deals with eating disorders, because I think that I did develop an eating disorder the last time with the over-exercising. I did laxatives, Senati. I went through periods where I only had liquids, and that I never really dealt with that. I just got tired of doing it, and I went a different way with it. I went back to, once my pouch started stretching, I went back to, you know, the comfort foods that are just high calories and no real nutrition. I did a lot of exercising and a lot of things to try and maintain my weight, but I found that whenever I had a layoff from work and I had a period of time where I wasn't working and I got really depressed because I was looking for a job and I couldn't find one, I started comfort eating, and I was cooking at home a lot, and it sometimes wasn't as healthy, so I found over 6 months I gained nearly 75, 85 pounds, somewhere around there. I can't remember the exact number, but I gained a lot of weight in a very short amount of time. And I spent the better part of 2011 just exercising my butt off and just trying to do things to help me, and nothing was working. And I would have never looked at doing a revision. I didn't want to go through another surgery, but when you're gaining weight and your health starts going different ways, and then the surgery that you had starts reacting in a different way, and you have, you know, complications, then you have to look at it. But I did have it, and now here we are a month later, and I still haven't quite dealt with all of those things. So my journey, a great part of it this time, is trying to deal with that emotional stuff, because life ain't going nowhere. It's gonna happen, and maybe just me, I have to learn how to deal with it. And so hopefully reading through some of these books and working through the workbooks, I can see some things, and maybe I can learn some better ways to do it, because I know how to eat healthy, I know how to exercise, and I know how to diet. I've been doing it the majority of my life. It's the part of keeping it off, and when things happen that are a bit of a disappointment, learning how to actually be an adult and deal with it without having that addiction part of me come and take over, because it is, you know, it's part addiction also, I think. Eating disorder, addiction, and something that I will have to deal with, and I don't know that it's going to go anywhere, so I have to just learn how to control it and do the best that I can with it. I just wanted to come and give you guys an update and let you know where I am. In this next week, I'm going to start more exercising. I've been walking about 45 minutes a day for the last week and a half. I worked my way up there from surgery. You know, I started, the only thing I could do was walk about 4 houses from my house to a little bit halfway down the street and back, and then it was a block and 2 blocks and on and on and on until I was able to do, I think the most I did was Saturday. I just decided to walk onto the hiking trail, and I walked for about 2 hours, but that was way too much, because the rest of the day I was done. I came home, barely got in the shower, and just laid in my bed and looked at Netflix on my laptop the rest of the day. So then I just went back to the 40-45 minutes each and every day since then, and that's been pretty good for me. Sometimes I'm tired halfway through, but I keep going. Sometimes I may rest a little bit, like, and just sit down and then finish it, but I'm doing it. And on Monday I'm going to start doing that when I first wake up in the morning, and then I'm going to do a little bit of aerobics if I can. I plan to put that back into my exercise repertoire. Anyway, I don't have a whole lot to talk about. That's pretty much all I wanted to let you guys know. I know I'm not as excited because I wanted to have this great, oh, look at what has happened to me in a month, and not so much. So I'm going to still keep fighting, and I'll still update if I have any other ideas. I have my little iPhone, so I'll just kind of, when I'm walking, if I have anything I want to share, I'll probably just share it and throw it up on YouTube. But the next big update will be at 2 months out, so I guess for the updates, I'll see you guys in June. And that's about it. I hope you guys are having a good one. Thank you so much for watching the videos that I have posted. In the future, I'll probably let you know what my other YouTube is, because I'm not new to YouTube, but this is a new journey, so I created another page. So I would like you to subscribe and like, and feel free to make comments. I'll check them and I'll get back to you if you like. Thank you so much, and see you next time, YouTube.